Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Yes, I am back. Yeah, I was away for about a week and a half, and I actually forgot to take my cards with me when we went to England last week. But there was so much that happened, and I have to tell you about it because it's like really kind of amazing that we managed to dodge so many bullets as far as the getting there and getting back. I don't know if you know this, but the pilots and cabin crew on Lufthansa are striking at the moment, or at least they were during the time that we were in England. And we left on the Thursday. We flew out on the 9th of April, which was a Thursday, and they went on strike on Friday. So we got there before the strikes even started, which was like kind of amazing. Well, throughout the following week, when we were the bulk of our time in the UK, they striked again, and this time it was pretty massive because so many people were left stranded, and so many people were, they didn't know what was going to happen, and they were, at the point of, oh my goodness, what are we going to do now? That kind of thing. So we went, got, when we got to Bedford on Thursday night, we saw the news that they were going to be striking on Friday. And then we were like, oh, we dodged a bullet because we were able to we were able to do our vacation. So it was like, okay, we got there and we were completely content, completely happy, and everything was good. And then Friday they all went on strike and there were no flights leaving Frankfurt. So we would have been stuck. If we had planned the trip on the 10th of April, on Friday, we would have been stuck in Frankfurt. We wouldn't have been able to leave. We wouldn't have been able to go to the UK at all. And that means that we would have been out probably about 300 or 400 euros because of hotel reservations and things like that, because the rooms were already prepaid at one of the hotels. And then we had our tickets for the coach, which was the bus that would take us to Bedford or to Milton Keynes, which is where we actually go. And then we get on another bus and then we go to Bedford. So we weren't sure why this was the case, but at any rate, we were able to get to the UK, and there was like no problem. We had zero problems getting there. It was just everything just went like clockwork. It was great. We didn't have very many late, you know, delayed things or what have you. We Things were pretty punctual, and we got to where we needed to go. And when we got to the hotel, it was really, really strange because when we got there, the first thing that we noticed with the hotel room was that it was considerably larger than what we're used to as far as hotel rooms are concerned. It was a nice room. It had a nice view overlooking the river that crosses between the middle the town center and the in just the bordering place, I guess you could say. So there was a bridge we had to cross to get into town. And so that was like everything was like great, and it was like okay. And then on Friday they striked, and then over the weekend we were at the convention, which was really fun. I had a great time, and then on Sunday we took the bus, went to Oxford, which I had never been, and it's like really a beautiful place. Lots of old buildings and just tons of shops and things like that where you could like grab souvenirs and stuff. I bought some little they had these little containers with wildlife things on them, and they were for tea, so you could like get a little containers with like morning tea and Earl Grey tea and stuff like that. I thought that was really cute, so I bought it for £3, and it was really cute. I got a magnet and stuff like that. So um and then on Monday we went to Bletchley Park, which was really, really interesting. Bletchley Park, if you are unaware, it is the place where they did code breaking during the Second World War, and it was like they filed it in libraries under espionage. So it was like they would get the message. somehow get the messages that were being sent through the German military, and they would break the codes, and they would be done under all these different codes and things and stuff. It was really fascinating, very interesting. They also had a ham radio station there, so I was able to do a little bit of radio. So that was really fun. And then we got back to the hotel, and then on Tuesday we left for London, and that's when we found out about all of the strikes, because we weren't really paying that much attention to it during the time that we were in Bedford. So when we got to London, it was like this was like the big talking point, if you will. And everybody was, we were checking the news to see what was going on and why they were striking and all that, and whether or not. And they said that the cabin crew would be striking on Wednesday and Thursday. And we thought, oh, great, we're not going to have to worry about this. We can, on Friday we go home. Well, then the pilots decided to go on strike on Thursday and Friday. So we were like, are we going to get stuck in London? Because, I've got things to do, and my husband had things to do, and we wanted to get home so that we could do all the things that we had planned to do. We weren't sure how that was going to go, and if we were going to end up stranded in London for how many days or hours or what have you. So we weren't really sure. Just a minute, I need to sneeze. Let me pause this here. So anyway, sorry about that. I did sneeze, yes. But so we weren't sure what was going to happen with that. So we were planning as though we did we did everything that we did in London. We planned as though we were going to prepare for whatever happened. So if we were going to be going to staying at a different hotel, or if we were going to be, staying. So I packed accordingly before we left, because after what happened in Fuerteventura, I decided that I wasn't going to take any chances on anything. So I woke up on Friday morning and I asked my guides a pointed question, just specifically, are we going home today? Open-ended question. We had managed to check in on Thursday through the computer, and we had our boarding cards and stuff on our phones sent to us through email and stuff like that. So everything was sent through the email, and we were able to get our boarding cards and stuff like that. So, but when we got downstairs, because we were at a hotel that was close enough to the airport where they had a big, they call it in German Tafu, which is like just a big, oh, what's it called? Where they have all the flights and stuff listed. So they had that set up, they had that thing, and with a big old, it was permanent thing. It was just with all the flights that would be departing from Heathrow Airport. We get downstairs to check it just before we're leaving to make sure that everything's okay, and the flight is completely not even listed. And we're thinking, oh, crikey, we're not going to get home. Well, my guides had told me, they had confirmed that we were going to get home that day, so I wasn't really that worried about it, but my husband was kind of frantic, and he wasn't sure what was going to happen. I said, well, let's just go to the airport and see if, we can talk to somebody and see if we can find out what's going on. So we get to the airport, and we go up to the counter, or we go up to somebody that's working there, and we asked them about it, and they said, well, you'll have to talk to somebody at the checkout at the counter over there. So we got in line over at the counter, and behind us there were some ladies from Leipzig who were really affected by the strike, because they had to take a plane from Frankfurt to Leipzig, and their flight from Frankfurt to Leipzig had been canceled because of the strike. So I was translating for them. So I got to play translator. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, so we found out that our flight to Frankfurt was not canceled, and so we were going to be able to go home, just like my guides had said. There wasn't any problem. So I was like, okay, then we're going home. And I actually posted this. I actually posted as much on Facebook that, yeah, we're going home. Hooray, we're home. That kind of thing. And so so that's what we did. And so we flew out, and everything was fine. And we got after we landed in Frankfurt, it was really funny because I know I'm babbling a lot, but this is just to update you on what's going on with us and stuff. When we got into Frankfurt, we get off the plane, and it's like, it is so eerie. It is absolutely eerie. The entire terminal was empty. I mean, the only people that were walking around in the terminal were the people from our flight. Otherwise, the place was completely empty. There was nothing going on. And this is like the middle of the afternoon on a Friday. And there's nothing going on inside the terminal building. It was like it was like the weirdest feeling. I mean, you're just walking through there and it's like nothing is happening. There's no people, there's nothing. It's eerily quiet, and it's just like it's like it's like walking through a cemetery or something. It was really very, very strange. It was just because you're so used to coming off a plane and seeing people in the terminal building waiting to either get on flights or what have you, and there's nothing. And you're like going, "Holy mackerel, what's going on here?" There's absolutely nothing going on. So we walk through there, and as we're walking, I'm telling my husband, I said, "God, it's so quiet here. It's just like eerie." And he's like, "Yeah, I've never." And I said, "The last time that we saw the airport that quiet was probably when we had to fly out at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And this was some 20 years or 25 years ago when we flew to Tenerife because we flew out at 3 in the morning. And it was so eerily quiet that we were like, we just, I mean, I think we were both reminded of that. It was just very, very strange. So yeah. So we get through customs and everything because we have to go through customs because England and the UK are no longer a part of the EU. So there's a customs control. So I had to, you know, plop my passport down on this little thing, and they would scan it. Okay, and then we'd go through and they'd take a picture, and then you move on. But we got home. It was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday afternoon. And I was like, I am so glad to be home. So I got everything unpacked, did all the laundry, took care of everything, and then I decided today that I was going to come on here and tell you all about what happened and how we, you know, managed. While we were there, we saw two theater. We went to the theater twice. I don't want to say saw two musicals because we didn't see two musicals. We saw one musical and one play. And the play was something I wanted to see for like forever, and it was called The Play That's Gone Wrong. And it was absolutely hilarious. Um, I mean, we're talking um, props falling, be having the wrong prop, people, you know, having to climb through windows and what have you, and doors opening when they're not supposed to open and closing when they're not supposed to be closed, and everything. I mean, it was just insanity, and it was so awesome. It was just so absolutely delicious insanity that I absolutely loved it. So we did. We watched that, and I thought it was. And if you ever go to London, I recommend it. It's hilarious, side-splitting hilarity. The only problem is because I have asthma, I was coughing afterwards. I couldn't stop. So anyway, let me pause this again, and I will. Okay, sorry about that. Uh, I had to go and do something real quick. Um, but anyway, so we saw the play that went wrong, that goes wrong, and it was absolutely hilarious. And then the second night, I wanted to see Paddington. I was so wanting to see Paddington, but it was sold out. And they said it's probably because it's so new, it's a newer production, and that it probably would be sold out. So I kind of anticipated that it would be, and that we'd see it next year when we go back. So I, you know, good things are worth the wait. So instead of seeing Paddington, we went to Build-A-Bear, and I bought this for my little bear. So I just thought it was so cute. So anyway, so Maddie can sit down there while I do this. At any rate, so the second play that we saw, the musical that we saw, was Oliver. And I have to tell you a little bit about this because there's a little bit of background story as to why I wanted to see Oliver. Oliver, the music from Oliver came out in the 1960s, I think thereabouts. I think a lot of people saw the original cast performance of Oliver. In fact, Davy Jones of the Monkees was in Oliver. He played the Artful Dodger. So I thought, oh, okay, this would be kind of neat to see. And I wasn't sure if it was the same music, if they had revamped the music or what have you, but it was the music from the original cast recording of Oliver. and with Consider Yourself and Who Will Buy and That's Your Funeral and all these, really great songs that are just, But when I was a teenager, when I was 18 years old, um, I was involved in a group called Coming Alive. And Coming Alive it was kind of bringing people together to put on a show. And we had rehearsals over a week's time. And so I would go in and I would rehearse with the group, and we would rehearse, and they had soloists and stuff like that. I didn't sing any solos because he wanted people that had never sang in front of people to do the solos. So since I had already sang in front of people, I figured, no, I'm not gonna volunteer. I'm just gonna like let somebody else do it. And so that was for me, that was fine. So I was in the chorus, and it was like really, really fun. And we sang the music from Oliver. And while I'm watching the musical in London on Thursday night, I'm actually seeing the images in my mind from when I was involved in the Oliver, in the music from Oliver, with Coming Alive. So it was really kind of a nostalgia night. It was like something that brought back memories, very fond memories that I had of my youth and of doing that. So I thought, wow, this is very, very cool. And it was really a lot of fun. So anyway, I've been babbling for 16 minutes about all of this, and I haven't even mentioned anything about tarot or tarot cards. But I will tell you that I wanted to take my Gilded Tarot Royale with me, and I forgot to pack it. When we got to Bedford, I said I wanted to buy a deck of cards. I wanted to get a deck. Every time we go to England or so, I buy a tarot deck. I was looking actually for Tarot Grand Lux, which was also Ciro Marchetti, and I didn't find it. But I did go to a cat cafe on Friday with my husband, and I found this. And the cards in this deck are absolutely amazing. I mean, I have a black cat tarot deck that is in German, and the cards are just black, gold, and white. I mean, there's really not any, real artwork to it. But this deck has these look like real cats, and they're artistically beautiful. So I was like, wow, So I just thought, wow, these are really cool. And then they have on the backs, the black backs of it. You can't really do reversals with them because the cats are like that. So I mean, if they're reversed, then you would be able to see that they're reversed. But the cards themselves are just absolutely amazing. And I still have them in the tarot order because I haven't used them, but I mean, look at that. I mean, these just beautiful cards, beautiful deck. Oh, here's the Seven of Swords. It's gorgeous. But it's all black cats, and I love black cats. Little mini panthers, I call them. So I bought this deck, and I'm going to try and use it. I'm going to try and use it a few times a little bit later. But when I do a reading or so, I'll use them. Or should I do it now? But I don't know what to read on. But when we were in England, so I found out something else that I thought was just absolutely significant for me, and that is that they reopened, I guess you could say, the Build-A-Bear workshops in Germany, which made me very happy. Because usually what I have to do is I have to go to build it. This is where I get. This is where I got this. This outfit for her, and I love Paddington's. That was just really cool. But at any rate, I I found out that they had reopened Build-A-Bear in Frankfurt it was just before we went to England. So I was like, I'm not going to buy a lot of stuff in England because I'm going to go to the one in Germany. I'm going to go to the one in Frankfurt when we get a chance. So next weekend we're probably going to go to Frankfurt, go to Build-A-Bear. But I'm going to try and apply for a job there because one, I am very, very, I love Build-A-Bear. I love Build-A-Bear Workshop. I love the concept. I love, all the things about it. I just think it's absolutely amazing. And I would just absolutely be honored, and I would love to get a job there. Um, Yeah, it's you know, it's not the job from my education. I have a degree in Russian studies and political science, and it's like none of those things. But Build-A-Bear is something that's always been very, very, profound to me. It's always been something that I loved. And when I was in the States, the first time I got my first Build-A-Bear, and I just thought, wow, this is so cool and this is so great and everything. So I would just absolutely love to work there. And most of the bears behind me here, they're all from Build-A-Bear. So you can tell I'm a pretty big Build-A-Bear fan. I love Build-A-Bear. And I just love the concept of it. I just think it's really great, and I think it's fun. It's something that, sort of brings out that childlike innocence and stuff like that, and I just think it would be really fun to work there. So, and this is something that I've thought about since forever. I've really wanted to get a job there. So, yes, I'm 55 years old. Yes, I'm a little bit older, probably than most of the people that work there, but I think I have a very youthful mindset, on things. So, what I thought I would do is I thought I would pull some cards on what my prospects might be as far as getting a job. Because I just found out too that they are wanting to charge. I mean, the German politicians here are no better than they are in the States, really, at this point. They want to charge for my health care. They no longer want to cover me under my husband's health care. So the only option that I really have now available is to get a job. And I'm hoping that that I would be able to get a job, because considering my age, considering that I'm 55 years old, a lot of people don't want to hire me because I'm older. The other thing is that before I had taken the B1 test in German language, I didn't really have any proof of my German speaking abilities before when I applied for jobs. So I figured that that was probably part of what what caused me to not get the jobs. They needed some kind of, because here it's like the country of endless stickling, where they have to have, things, for everything that you do. They have to they have to see. But at any rate, so I just thought, just for fun, and hopefully this won't get me in trouble as far as doing the job or getting the job. I'll pull some cards on, the possibility or the chances of me getting a job. And hopefully it will be at Build-A-Bear, but if it's, at this point, I probably need to take a job wherever I can get it. And since I haven't worked in 30 years, it's probably going to be very difficult for me to actually get a job, because in the past nobody wanted to hire me. And even though I'm a very loyal person, and that wherever I would, end up working, I would be very loyal to that place. But my real ambition, or my real want, is to work at Build-A-Bear, because I love it so much. And I think that the idea of doing a job that you love and being happy with it would enable you to do a better job. And so that's what I'm hopeful for. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm going to ask my guides, what can you tell me about this possibility or this prospect of me getting a job at Build-A-Bear Workshop? Mm, I don't know. I'm really nervous now, because I really hope that I get good cards. I hope that this card doesn't come up or something like that. So, what is the probability of my getting a job? Um, and being happy with it. What's my job prospect look like? What do my job prospects look like here? Because I don't like sitting at home every day and doing nothing. I really don't. It's just boring. I need something to liven things up a bit. It's good. Minor Arcana Death card. Great. Four Swords. Um, well, we've been reading so much on politics with this. I'm going to check here and see what the Four of Swords actually means, in the sense of, because it may mean something else. Four of Swords. Time to regroup, meditate, and find your center, recharging your spiritual strength to solve the problem. So, yeah, I have to think about it. I have to think about what I want to do and how I want to do things. But I feel very, very strong about doing the Build-A-Bear. That's with the King of Swords. And I'm looking it up because I'm doing politics. I've been doing politics for so long that I've just been thinking that everything's about politics and stuff. So let's see what this says. Let's see. Your intelligence is the core of your persona. You have used it to create a successful life for yourself and those associated with you. Your wisdom benefits others, and you are comfortable sharing your ideas and opinions. So that crosses this. This crosses the intel. Maybe it's my balance between my emotions and my intelligence and and my willingness and what I want to do and how I want to do things. I don't usually read on myself, so it's like really difficult to really get a a real visual image of this. But I'm getting the feeling that it's like these two sides of myself that are in conflict with each other about what I want to do and and is this job being done? Is this, wanting to get a job strictly out of desperation, or is it out of just really the wanting to do it? And I think in the instance with Build-A-Bear, I think it's really that I want to do it, that I really want to try and I want to give it another go and see if I can get it. The underarching energy is the Ten of Cups. That's the happy, joyful family. That's the happiness, the joy, and the you know, reaching that place where reaching that place or that area that I want to be at or to achieve my highest good. Happy personal life full of satisfying activities and comforts. So underarching energy is that, which is really quite good. I can't get over that four swords though. um, in the immediate past, we have the strength card. The strength is being able to. Maybe this is an overall reading for anybody who's trying to find a job. It's just looking at your positive traits and not focusing on the negative or on the past failures or on the things that happened in the past. Maybe it's just about having some optimism and having some strength and courage to do the things that you really want to do without being afraid. Maybe that's the thing that's holding me back is that my fears. My fears that people will judge me for reading tarot on about getting a job or, you know, for thinking that I'm kind of crazy because I'm older and that I want to get a job and I want to work and I want to do something and I want to say, yeah, I did this and I accomplished this and I move forward with it. So maybe it's all that fear and all that insecurity that's kind of balling up there and it's telling me, and maybe that's what that Four of Swords is about, is that fear and insecurity that I'm like kind of sitting in, that I've been sitting in for so many years and so long. And now it's like you're intelligent and you're able and you can do it and you have the ability to do it. And maybe that's what these other cards are telling me, that I have the ability to do it. The overarching energy is the Seven of Swords, and maybe that's the overarching energy is that fear, that insecurity that I have, that even though I know I'm smart, I know I'm intelligent, I know that I can do the things that I do, but maybe I just need to let go of that fear and that insecurity about doing it. In the immediate future, you have the Star card, and I'm gonna look that one up because again, I've been focusing more or less on the issue of what I can do, what I healing, hope, peace, and guidance. Also, finding the peace within myself, I guess. Maybe it's telling me that I should try, and just regardless of what happens, I give it a try, and at least I know that I tried and that I didn't give up before I even started. Um, how I see myself, the Hierophant. And I think anybody can do this. Anybody can read on themselves if they want to. If they want to find out something about themselves that might help them, get through a certain juncture. Or maybe I'm just using the wrong cards. Maybe I should be using the Black Cat Tarot or some other deck other than this. Um, Tradition and faith, respect and achievements of generations past. Act on your spiritual beliefs in daily life. Okay. You know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I'm using the wrong cards. My guides are saying, yes, you're using the wrong cards. Try the other deck. So I've got the Black Cat Tarot that I just bought. Maybe I use those instead of this. Okay, so let's start over. How are my job prospects? Let me get these cards out and let me give them a shuffle and then see. So no, they're pretty emphatic. They're saying use another deck, Yvette. Use another deck. These cards are, more or less political. And I have been using them for politics readings and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, yeah, I need to just start fresh here. So I'm starting fresh. Okay. So, just something doesn't feel right. The energy just didn't feel right with that. I was trying to read it. I was trying to read it as I got it and not be and not be so, judgmental on myself or what have you, but I was using the wrong deck. I mean, it is possible. I mean, when the energy feels wrong, then maybe the biggest lesson here as far as reading is to grab another deck or to grab something else or to move to something that might actually be a better, position for you and just allow the energy to flow. So let me try this again. Job prospects. I'll just say job prospects. What can you tell me about my job prospects? And hopefully this can apply to anybody. If it applies to you, take it and run with it and say, okay. If it doesn't, then, you know, grab a deck, give it a shuffle, and give it a go. See what happens. Can't be. This card just flipped out. Page of Cups. I'm not. They're saying that's not the card for the reading. So okay. There's no book with this, and so I have to really seriously go with what I'm feeling. I'm not going to use the Gilded Tarot Royale book to try and read these cards because that wouldn't work either. And my guides are saying, "Yep, you got it. You got it." Okay, so here we go. What are my job prospects? What can you tell me about my job prospects? And please, no minor arcana death card this time. The Six of Swords. Well, that is a new journey. It's a new beginning. It's a new start. And what this is telling me is that I shouldn't worry about what happened in the past with regards to getting a job. I should worry about what the future is going to bring, or not even worry at all, but let the future come as it will, because I'm on a new journey. That sounds more right. That sounds more reasonable, doesn't it? It sounds more in tune with the question. My job prospects as I'm starting a new journey. I'm starting on my trajectory is going in a new direction. It's a new path forward. And it's crossed with the hermit. That's this feeling of isolation and feeling of being lost and not able to do the things that I want to do. This actually seems very applicable to me because I am sometimes feeling isolated because I don't have a job and I don't really, when I meet friends and stuff and we start talking, then I don't really know what to talk about because I don't really have a job where I can actually discuss what I've been doing as far as the job is concerned. So I discuss choir, I discuss the flute playing or the sewing or the other things that I'm doing, but I'm not really discussing the job prospects. And so maybe this is that sense of isolation that I've always had because I haven't had a job and I hadn't had anything to really discuss in relation to what I'm doing. So this is probably for me. This is that crossing this new journey. Then it's like, well, maybe this will give me that new opportunity to. The underarching energy is the Eight of Wands, and to me, the Eight of Wands is about moving forward. It's like having that, having that will and that persistence for me to move forward in whatever decision that I make and however I decide to do it, but that I'm on the right path and that I really need to just move forward with it. In the immediate past, we have the Magician. I got the magic in me, and I've always had that in me, and that maybe I should trust it, and that feel that maybe it's applicable to me moving forward. Feels like it's flowing a lot better. The overarching energy is the Nine of Cups. There's no rats pooping in any cups here. This is about saying cheers to whatever it is that comes. Being able to say, okay, I'm going to give it a go and I'm going to see what's going to happen. And if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not, then it won't. I'll have to move and find something else. But as of right now, I think I'm on the right path. In the immediate future, we have the Ten of Swords. This is not the ending, but this is the sign of a new beginning. Because I'm not, I know that I need to get a job, or that I want to get a job, and that this is a new beginning. This is a new start. And I don't think that this is actually what I would say in a political reading. In a political reading, I think it's kind of negative and it has a negative feel to it. But in this instance, this is like a new start. This is a new beginning. So it's like you've reached the end of this one juncture where you're not working and you're starting a new juncture where you will be working. That's how I read it. How I see myself as the Hierophant. This was the exact same card I got in the exact same position in the other reading. And that is the spiritual being moving forward and accepting whatever comes. That's really weird. How other people see me is the world. Hey, this is also the endings and beginnings. So this is the end of one part of my journey and the beginning of another. I'm at the juncture now where I am starting a new journey. Hey, that feels pretty good. I can handle that. Hopes and fears. It's the High Priestess. I hope to show my abilities, show my strengths, show my courage and attentiveness and my loyalty to whatever it is I embark on. And the final outcome is the Two of Pentacles. This will enhance my relationships. This will enhance everything. This is the final outcome of all of this. I get a job. This will enhance the relationship I have with my husband. It will enhance the relationships that I have with other people. And it will bring me closer to what it is I aspire in my life. And my legacy will be that I did something, that I didn't just sit on my haunches and do nothing. So, yeah, that feels a little bit better than the other. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess it does depend on what cards you use. Will depend on how you do with it. But at any rate, so you got an update there on the you got an update there on the trip and on what I'm hoping to accomplish in the coming weeks. I am going to put together a resume. I'm going to give it a go, see what happens. Hopefully they'll. Now that I've taken the B1 test and my German abilities are quite good, maybe they will be willing to hire me. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm also waiting for my citizenship stuff to come through. that hasn't come through yet. Hoping that it'll come through soon. And if I don't get it now, then maybe when I get my citizenship. But I really don't want to wait. I really would like to. Um, I'd really like to move forward. Um, I have to see. But if since we're going there next week, I can talk to them and ask them about what it would take, what I need to do or what have you. And then maybe I can maybe talk to the store manager and see if they have a space for a mini job or something. And we'll see what happens. But I will keep you updated on all that. But I really just wanted to see if this was in the cards. I don't know if it's really in the cards yet. Maybe I have to wait. Maybe what they're telling me is that I should wait, and maybe my fears are just talking. Maybe those are just my fears. It's very difficult to try and decide big life decisions like that, like jobs and things like that. It was easier to decide to get German citizenship. But anyway, so I will thank you for watching. I know that this is long and it's drawn out and everything, but I just wanted to give you an update on everything that's going on because there's a lot happening right now. And the other thing is that I have been paying attention to what's been going on in the news, but I haven't paid a lot of attention to what's going on in the news because it is, quite frankly, it is just so depressing and it's so terrible and dare I say, it can bring your light down. It can bring you down spiritually, and I just don't want to contend. So, so I hope you are doing well, and I hope that you have a great day. I don't know when I'll be back on. I just come on when I can, but I wish you a wonderful in start to the new week, and I hope all is well. And take care. And as always, namaste.